Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Expanse reaction. This is Hard Live, and my name is Matt. Okay, so we're starting a new season here. Oh, and by the way, my neighbors were yelling at each other up until 5 minutes ago, and also I have a headache. It's one of those headaches that it's right here, and it's really bad because I have one light here and I have another light here right on my face, and it's bad. So I kind of wish I had an eye patch right now, just cover that side, but I don't have one. Otherwise, I would 100% wear the eye patch right now. If I had one, I would 100% do it. But this is just what we have to deal with. So okay, we're starting a new season of The Expanse. Hi. So what happened last time on The Expanse? What happened last season? What happened last book? So we had Abaddon's Gate, and it was the entire conflict that happened around the ring portal, whatever. So last episode, what actually happened was that so Ashford wanted to have his awesome baller ass plan that I kind of sad didn't happen, but whatever. But it was the plan to just have a laser sword just slice through the ring in half, and that was just the best, right? That was awesome, but it didn't happen. So, but what we did have was a bunch of other cool stuff, and there were some massive implications that I'm sure are gonna come in this book or in this episode that happened right at the end, but. So Holden, Naomi, they went on a mission alongside Drummer. Drummer tried to sacrifice herself, but she didn't get to. Naomi save her, trying to confront Ashford to try to convince him not to slice the portal in half because that would have been bad. And instead try to turn off the engines, because if you turn out the engines, or not the engines but the generator off of every ship, then the construct in the middle will recognize them as being peaceful because it thinks that the generators are a weapon, which they could have used as weapons because they did use one as an explosive. So Ashford didn't budge, but what did happen is that Clarissa Mao, who has been a troublemaker for that entire book, at the end just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be good now. And she just activated her massive super strength, and she tackled Ashford into the command table, and then she just jumped all the way to the, I don't know, some tech stuff, and then she messed with a couple of electronics, and that made it so the engine stop, the generator stopped. So the behemoth lost all its power, and every other ship was already convinced by the silver thong of Anna, and everyone just turn off their generators, and then the construct in the middle went, oh okay, you're cool then, and then it opened 1,300 rings, 1,300 portals, because I said it before, we're like a hub, right? Because we saw in Holden's vision, many episodes ago, that there were multiple ring and portals. So I was like, okay, so this is like a hub. We go in here, and then from here we go to different other places. Except that I thought every single other ring and portal was closed. So it was just yeah, those are all systems that are just destroyed, and we don't even have access to them anymore. But no, at the end of the episode it was just no, now you have access to them, now you've proven yourself to be cool, so now we're granting you access to them. And the episode ends with this implication of okay, so now humanity has access to another 1,300 habitable systems. He did actually say that we're habitable, therefore those systems are actually useful, and they do have resources and shit in them. So that's, the implications are massive now, and I don't even, when I say they are massive, I mean I don't know what the fuck they are, right? Because this is way beyond what I could think would happen, because it's because now we're talking about okay, what happens if we have infinity more resources than we already have, right? What happens if we have infinity more resources than we already have, if we have infinity just to take for ourselves, and now everybody can just have everything? And it was just What I do know is that it's probably going to turn into like a faction war again, which Holden did say at the end of the episode. Yeah, it's going to be like a race for who gets whatever first, right? That's absolutely what's going to happen. But beyond that, I don't know what the like economic ramifications are going to be, the political ramifications are going to be, and that is just like, when I say they are massive, I mean that they are beyond what I want to think of. It's just like, I'll just watch this and then I'll try and understand what the landscape is now, because I'm assuming that this episode is going to have a time skip, because every book has kind of a time skip. So yeah, I estimated previous episode like what would be the time skip, and I was like, maybe like give it like 5 years, right? 5 years sounds good. It's like it's a couple years into the future, or and it's like, okay, like now we are in the middle of dealing with the stuff that we just found. Like we've been dealing with it for a couple years now, but we're still kind of in the early stages. It's just a little bit into the future enough that we can have every single character back, but it's gonna be a little bit different, and I like that. So I assume it's gonna be like a single digit amount of years into the future, between 1 and 9. I would say estimated 5. I would like that. But yeah, I also have been told that I should probably pay really close attention to like literally everything in the season, because more than every other season, this season is just gonna have a lot of like really small things that seem like they don't matter actually matter. Here's the thing though, I don't have an editor to edit this shit for me. I have to do everything on my own, and I just edit everything on the week that I watch it, right? So what's gonna happen is that there are gonna be stuff that is just gonna be cut out from the highlight, and eventually people are gonna be like, remember that shit, you didn't pay too much attention to it, you didn't even show it. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know it mattered. And I'm not gonna know it matters up until like way later. And I also have like goldfish memory too, by the way. I mean, I have memory for some very specific things that don't matter, and then I have no memory for things that probably shouldn't matter. So what's gonna happen is that I'm probably gonna catch like a couple things that people are gonna be like, "Wow, it's really weird that he got that," and I was like, "Yeah," and then I'm gonna miss other stuff, and people are also gonna be like, "Wow, it's really weird that he didn't get that," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like that sometimes, you know." So just bear with me. If I had an editor, the editor would be able to like an editor that actually has seen the show. That person would be able to like cut and show the things that are gonna matter in the future. But as it is, I don't have that foresight, so I can't do that. So I'm sorry about that. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be moving forward. So I think that's it for this intro. I think we can just move into the episode. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, I forgot. This is the first episode of a new season. Therefore, there's a vehicle passing by. But therefore, it's the first episode, and I started doing this with like previous season, I think. But it's the first episode, so you can watch full length for free. Usually, full length is reserved for Patreon people, for like $10 patrons. But it's the first episode of the season. A couple other channels do this, so I started doing it as well because I thought it would be cool. You can just watch this episode alongside me if you want in full length. So in the description, there is a link below for the full length reaction to this specific episode. And I'm watching it on Prime Video, so you can sync up your footage with mine on Prime Video. All right, so I think we could just start. So yeah, The Expanse, season 4, episode 1. Let's go.
The civilization that built the rings is gone, wiped out.
What wiped them out? Yeah, that was a question.
Like to know. Gonna need a ride.
Yeah, what does it mean by gonna need a ride? This is new. This is absolutely new. Yeah, it's new. That's the ring, the soul ring. All right, now the ring have actual names. So this is the soul ring.
Go! 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 Go!
Is that Holden and his mom?
It was lovely.
Awesome! I like having the mom
She
again.
could have taken those gravity drugs on the way.
It's not that easy. Those drugs are brutal. I wouldn't have asked her to do that for me.
Don Quixote, there we
I
go.
need to reread this.
Reread, yeah. I fucking wrote another book myself. I wrote a sequel on my own. Isn't like actually a thing that Cervantes wrote like a sequel to Don Quixote, who was just him just killing fanfiction writers about the original Don Quixote book because a bunch of people did that. I like having Holden's mom back. She just showed up for like 2 scenes in season 1, so I like having some consistency here. It's just like Holden is just like, I want to go see my mom. Like, I'm no longer like a space pirate or whatever. We saved the world like twice, so. The fuck?
Gonna be a real turd floater, huh?
Oh, you keep showing up then, huh? You're never gonna leave.
Occasion.
Oh, I like this a lot. Did he like glitch when
You gotta talk
he
about
got hit?
that, right?
Ride? Yeah, I know.
The ride? Okay.
Tell her to let you go through the ring.
I have 100 times. I'll bring it up again. But something must have changed if she wants to talk.
We gotta talk about that ride, kid. Next clue to the case.
Shut up about the ride. He's further away from the ring, so now he has low signal. Therefore, he just keeps saying, next clue to the case, let's go.
Used to love the rain when I was a kid. Sit out here and watch the lightning storms.
We gotta talk about that ride, kid.
Yeah.
Next clue to the case.
You got it, Miller. I'll take care of it.
Has to meet in person one day. You know, I'm
Naomi.
quite a dancer.
Holden never stopped saying.
It's talking to the dad.
Kopanga,
Oh, to like the dads and
and
the mother.
Okay.
They're trying to accustom the Velter. That's nice. I like that.
It was.
By the way, I don't like her new hair because I love her old hair a lot. So big head shake from me. Clarissa?
Melba?
Please.
Clarissa, yeah. Why call her Melba? You weren't in that ship to begin with.
I'll spend the rest of my life in here. Like Dad.
Yeah, they really threw the book at you.
Yeah, well.
Thank you.
For what?
Months heading home. Letting me work in the shop with you. Kept me sane. The safeties had been overridden, and if I wanted to, I could have blown the outer door while I was in it. Killed myself.
Yep.
Was that on purpose?
If I was staring down a lifetime sentence, I'd want to have the option.
Oh, he did that on purpose.
It was kind of you to make the offer. But Anna was right. I don't deserve it easy way.
Stop it.
Stop with the self-pity.
You breathe in, you breathe out. Eat, shit, sleep. You take whatever they give you, and you give nothing in return.
They have me doing dream therapy. I don't really understand it, but the doctor has flowers in her office, and I can smell them through the glass.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's...
Can I bother you again sometime?
Sure thing, Peaches.
Peaches. That was like a sad thing to say, but the doctor had flowers in her office, and I can smell them through the glass. You do like her new hair, though. Where the fuck is he?
Don't start this shit with me again.
Half our population is unemployed, and we've been given the biggest opportunity to give them jobs, to give them a purpose in a century.
This
Every
is true.
week, another colony ship filled with our constituents shows up at the blockade, and we make them wait. They're sitting ducks for pirates. They want to explore new worlds. We should let them.
When Columbus arrived, at least he knew what was waving at him was human. You can't control a goddamn gold rush. When the stacks of body bags came back from the Yukon, thousands of hopeful idiots lined up to be the next corpse. So,
Okay.
do it.
Okay. She's trying to keep this shit under control because it's a lot happening.
The Belters have been installing com relays through the ring gates, prioritizing those 4 systems. The relays went live 2 days ago and started picking up broadcasts from one system. By some miracle, the Belters in this world survived. About 100 or so.
Okay.
They're calling the planet Illus.
Illus was a brother of Ganymede.
Who gives a fuck? I didn't bring you here to teach me mythology. That looks like the work of the proto-molecule.
A giant construct.
I want you to go to Illus.
Explore what the fuck that planet is for us. You're the
I
main
need
character.
to know what is really going on over there. Is Illus a ghost town or another fucking heiress?
And if it is another Eros?
Evacuate the belters. Destroy the proto-molecule if you can. And get the hell out of there.
Gotta move, Don Quixote.
If Miller is right, it could be something much worse. She already has a ship en route. The Edward is real. It's a science ship. Survey vessel out of Titan. I opened those gates. So I'm responsible if anything comes through them.
We all open those gates.
Holden is like, it's my responsibility every time. Just like, dude, they have new outfits. They are actual outfits. Not Amos though. Amos looks exactly the same.
Whatever happens down there, we'll deal with it together.
Gunny? Who's somebody that's a giant mech? It's like a gun. Mounted on a ship. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I wanted a mech. I thought maybe it's a mech, but no.
Dad, we are causing turbine.
I didn't see what that said. Former MCRN team, whatever.
Hey.
Your Aunt Bobby.
Aunt
David
Bobby?
talks about you all the time. He says you're a war hero.
Sweet kid.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey.
Nice to see you, fly boy.
Just passing through the neighborhood. Thought I'd check in live for a change. Apparently we are experts in the field, so who better to go and see for sure, right?
And how are you feeling about it?
Great.
You just have to believe that what you're doing really matters. And then the fear can't control you.
Shit. Delay's getting bad.
Shit. Take care of yourself, fly boy.
You too, Bobby.
Okay. Is that... Yeah, that's him. Look at Ashford. Let's fucking go. I like that Ashford is back. I like that he's a character. He deserves to be a character.
Good little coil now. Content for the table scraps. They keep belters out of the ring, so they find the gold first. Leave us with dirt, and you help them.
And he said, must be something to like see a dying man's last word to just be shit talking you. What are we doing to that? Oh, gravity? Yeah, Illus seems to have like gravity maybe then. That's what I heard a lot. That's what I heard a lot, honestly. Something that just juices up your entire like muscle mass and bone density and shit. God, I really wish I had an eye patch, honestly. Tremor!
How is your back?
Only hurts when I move.
So all the time?
Which means nerves are regrowing, so that's good.
Okay, they're growing. That's okay.
You're going to get the belters off that planet.
We're not going to evict anyone. We're going to make sure it's safe.
Safe.
They were foolish to think they could live there. It's not foolish to want free air and free water and a home for their children.
We are creatures of space. In 2 generations, their children will be in us. They won't even remember what they were.
Everyone should have the right to decide for themselves.
Of course.
What if I mean, that just looks bad, but it's probably better if we do this. Anti-cancer? Is that something that he just has to keep having since the first time on Eurus, or is that a new thing? Hi, Miller.
You're through the ring.
Now you have more signal.
Thanks for the ride.
What are we supposed to... Wait!
Wait. Miller vision? What the fuck did I just see? I don't know.
They told our whole unit, hey, thanks for the memories. Y'all civilians now. I had a promotion coming up too.
That's the shit end of the stick.
I watched your hearing on the feed. You could have saved your benefits if you signed that statement they were waving in front of you.
I'm sure it was good entertainment.
But you wouldn't.
I stand by what I did, and I can live with the fallout.
First they order you to lie, then they strip you of your pension, your skin.
Okay.
When you put honor first.
And he doesn't bitch and whine when the chips are down.
You were inside that ring station, what'd you see?
Some weird shit.
Tynan, this is your final warning.
Give it to them.
Code verified. Tynan, you're cleared for the ring.
We have enough problems already without you agitating the inner.
Well, they like humiliating us. It's bad enough I have to play cop to protect their haulers.
He doesn't like his job,
Worth
okay.
what to the belt?
We find out, Kay, yeah? You have to trust your gut.
Well, the last time I did that, it didn't work out so well, did it?
We were all flying blind, Pampa.
Yeah, well, me more than you.
Only because my friend had a boyfriend with an imaginary friend who told us how to power that station down.
And I thought he was a madman. He turns out to be a prophet.
Apparently, yeah. I like that they're like, yeah, that was some dumb shit. They both are like, yeah, that was weird. Anyway.
First scientists ever to study a whole new biome. We're making history.
Okay. I feel like you're all gonna die. There's way too many characters here to remember.
Belters squatting on a rock with $1 billion in platinum ore that we had the charter for.
That's fucking
We
Owen!
gave them a percentage of the take, 300k, topped up their water tank, sent them on their way.
You got off.
That's Owen from Torchwood. I'm watching Torchwood right now. Why is he here? Is he gonna be a piece of shit too? I need to go look up the name of that actor. I just forgot it. Because Owen is like the worst character in Torchwood. But now he's here, so.
Bet the rocks down here look just like the ones back home.
Hey, I name a new bug after you.
You're all dead. Yeah. Maybe not everyone. Maybe there's gonna be like 3 survivors. That's good people that talked. What hit them? Were those bullets or was this like... Okay. Yeah, that person's gone. Jesus. I don't think these are bullets. I think it's like the planet itself, the biome, has like something the target locks onto them and just hits them. Alright. So, Illus. What am I looking at? Okay, yeah. That's the construct. Looks like a dead planet, which it is. He's alive. And the other woman's probably alive, and maybe the dude. He looks so fucking pissed. Come on, Owen, you can do it. He looks so much better here. He's one of those actors that definitely got better with age. He's just, yeah. Just fucking done. I'm surprised his guts weren't just like outside too. I feel like they would be if you got impaled like that.
Destroyed along with most of the expedition supplies.
Yeah, they're done.
Security Chief Murtry refused evacuation and is now in operational command of the expedition.
They got hit by something.
The Belters are providing what aid they can, but hasten to add the company had no right to land in the first place. Just get yourself to Illus, do your job, and let RCE do theirs. The Belters will try to enlist you to their cause. Holden, do not put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already.
It's good advice.
I love Christian. God, I love that shit so much. I'm gonna start using that. Don't put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already. Okay.
Take that, Lugu.
Has the Rosie been painted too? With like red and shit? I don't think it was painted before. Okay. Owen, what are we doing here? How is it that he's playing the exact same character in both shows? So far he just has that same personality, I think. I like this like triumphant music of like, oh, the Rose is here, and everyone's just like, oh my god, that's the Rose. I mean, they don't know it, right? But it's like, they're just seeing it, that there was some epic happening. Alright, we landed. We Gucci, we're here. Yeah, Naomi's first time in gravity. I like that Amos was like, I'm gonna go help on Holden. It's like, no. She can take care of it. She can stand up again. Let her do it. Alien planet. What's up? I keep thinking the episode's gonna end and then it doesn't. I wonder where they filmed this, right? Because I think this is an actual location, so I wonder where this is. Like, Northern Europe? Northeast Europe? Like Scandinavia, somewhere around there.
We're here to help. Welcome. Coach Awaywe. I'm the administrator of the settlement.
Jim Holden.
Captain Holden. Chief Murtry. Welcome to New
Murtry.
Terra. Come with me, I'll give you a lay of the land.
Good to meet you.
Traitors! Traitors!
Traitors.
Traitor! Traitor! Traitor!
Ooh. They're gonna put the guns down. Something's gonna happen. What's happening? Oh shit! The swarm of the planet. They're here to consume you all. Okay. What the fuck was that? Do they know what that is? They probably do know what that is. They've seen them before, maybe. The Bolters. It like cut everyone, but it didn't do more than that. Oh, they got one. You can see it. That's it. Shit. It's like a bug and a bird and a construct all at once. Almost like a throw-in store. Episode ends. Are the episodes longer now? This one was definitely longer, I think. I think usually episodes are like 8 minutes shorter. Like 39 minutes. This one was 47. So we did have like a recap at the beginning. Plus the intro. So okay, so I took off my glasses just to be easier on my headache because it got really bad at a couple points on the episode. But hey, so Owen's here from Torchwood. I looked up the actor and it's Bern Gorman. So just to make sure I didn't get spoiled, I just waited for the credits and then I just Googled the name of the actor that sounded the most familiar, and it was him. So Bern Gorman. Owen's here. I want to know if he's playing like literally the same character. I don't know. I want to know that. Like, if he's a piece of shit, then it's just like, yeah, that's just the same character. that would be awesome. But so far, he seems like a hardened badass. Like, that seems to be what this character is. And he did say his name at one point. I don't remember exactly if I wrote it correctly, but Chief Murtry or Murthy or something like that. So I'm just gonna call him Owen. I'm telling you right now, it's just Owen for me. So yeah, it's cool that he's here. And he's one of those actors that looks better now that he's old, right? Like he looks like he was incomplete, and now he is cast into the role that he was born to play, because now he looks like a hardened soldier, and I'm like, yeah, I buy it. I buy that he's like a hardest badass, you know? So yeah, I like that he's here. Okay, let's forget about that shit. So I wrote a lot of stuff here, and I don't know what any of it is gonna matter at all. But so we set up what actually happened in the time skip. I don't know how much of a time skip it was, because I think that the time skip was... So there was a time skip of 8 months in between when the Belter ship, which I think the name of it was the Barba Piccola, went into the ring and then went into another ring, and then they just disappear, and nobody's ever heard of any of them since. But then 8 months later, and now we know that they are in a planet called Illus, yeah, that is rich on lithium, and they're just settled there, right? Apparently that's what it is. Apparently, that was the 8 months time skip, but I don't know how much of a time skip happened in between last season and this, right? Maybe it was just 8 months. Maybe I don't know. Somebody will just tell me. But there was some sort of a time skip, because now we have... Well, maybe there wasn't a time skip. Maybe this is just like 8 months later or 9 months later since previous season as well, but we'll see. So, okay, we see Holden hanging out with his mom, and I really like that, because we haven't seen Holden's mom since like season 1, and we only saw her for like one episode for like 3 scenes when she was talking to Clarissa and Avasarala, and she was just talking about her son and just what kind of childhood he had, and how that affected him and all that. And it was like, that's it. And it served as like getting to know Holden better, and Christian's perception of Holden, which would inevitably end up coming back up and being an important factor in like world events, essentially. So that was good. But the thing is that now we actually bring her back, and it's like, oh, she's here. And it's like, okay, cool, because she's like an actual person that lives in this universe, right? So we should, every now and then, Holden should be like, I'm gonna go visit my mom, and I'm like, yeah, do that, Holden, that's just nice. And I like that she just gave him a Don Quixote book, and he's like, haven't I reread this enough? Because it's like, I basically wrote another book on myself, like the past couple seasons. Like, it's great. So dude, I heard the other day, and I'm not sure if this is true, so, but didn't like Cervantes like wrote, like, isn't like the second Don Quixote book just about Don Quixote just going and fighting anyone who wrote like shitty fan fiction of him, because like that was one of the first books that actually had like weird fan fiction of it like being written, right? Just like people writing their own versions of like Don Quixote going out and doing shit, and then Cervantes was like, fuck that, and I'm just gonna write a book talking about how Don Quixote goes and fights everyone who just writes shit about himself. You know, he just like heard someone talking shit and saying shit that wasn't true, and he's like, I'm gonna fight them, right? So all I'm saying is Cervantes would be pissed about The Expanse and James Holden. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I should skim through the episode. So we're learning what the situation is, just like globally in the eco-political landscape, I suppose, but like socioeconomical. Yeah, that's the word. So what is essentially happening is what you would probably expect to happen, which is Earth and Mars are just like looking at the ring and all of the rings and being like, okay, what do we do? And just sending probes and being like, okay, what's happening? What's over here? What can we do? Is it safe? All that stuff. And then Belters are like, you are not letting us in. You want to take everything for yourselves. Fuck you. Right? But, well, like that, what I imagine it's happening is that like Earth and Mars aren't necessarily like mining any materials or anything. Like they're not going to get anything yet. They're just at the doors and they're just sending probes and they're like, okay, is it safe, right? That's the stage they're at. It's just like we're sending probes to like everything and just being like, okay, what the fuck is over there? What the fuck is over there? Is it safe to go through? Should we go through? And it's like just doing that over and over and over and over again, right? They aren't necessarily like taking anything for themselves yet. However, the Belters are being stopped at like the door at the ring and just being like, no, you can't pass. And then the Belters go like, oh, they're taking everything for themselves. We let's go get him. Let's fucking inners, dude. And it's like, makes sense. So I think that is what's happening. Nobody has gotten anything yet, but the Belters think that the inners are getting stuff, and the inners are probably gonna get stuff first as soon as they conclude that it's safe to go in, right? So that's probably what's what I understood is happening, just in general. So, oh yeah, Miller. I forgot to talk about Miller. Holden was talking to Miller for like a little bit after his mom left, and he was like, I like that because like Miller after Abaddon's Gate, I don't know why I thought he would just like disappear, but he didn't. He's just still out there. He's still chilling and talking to Holden. Like, in fact, it keeps like pestering him, just like, hey, you're right, take me there. Just like, hey, take me there. And I like that. You can tell why he's like that, and it's because he's on low signal. So he explained this previous season where he was like, when he's near the ring, the signal is stronger. So he's more aware. He can be more talkative. Like he actually feels more like an actual person or entity. But now that he's further away, because he's literally on Earth, he's just sitting there, just being like, "Hey, take him to the ring." Just and keeps repeating that over and over, and in fact keeps repeating like the same like movement, just like, "Hey, take me there." And he even glitches out a couple moments. It's like, I like that. Like the signal from the ring to Holden's brain is weak. Therefore, this version of Miller we're seeing is incredibly limited and just keeps repeating, "Hey, take me there," right? And there are moments where Holden seems to have like a conversation with Miller, and then Miller, like, it seems like he kind of has a conversation, and then he suddenly glitches and goes back to like, "Hey, take me there," and it's like, oh, okay, right? But this is something I really like, because it's essentially like the two main characters of the first book are still together and just hanging out, even though in like the first book they weren't together and hung out a lot. Right? Like they met like halfway through the book during Eros, and then they did some shit, and that was pretty cool. And then Miller just just decided I'm just gonna go in on a suicide mission and save it and see Mao and fucking die, right? And that's what happened, right? It's not like they hung out for very long, but it is cool because it's the two main characters, right? So I'm not sure which are the main characters of each book, and people gonna tell me, because it feels like every book has like the perspective of like a specific like person and just follows that for like a chapter or something. That's what I would assume, right? So in the first book, I would assume it was like, okay, so half the story is Holden's story and half the story is Miller's story, and then eventually they meet and it's like the hypest shit ever, right? But it's cool that now we have them back, but one of them is dead. One of them has been dead for a while, but now he's like actually kind of back. And now they just hung out. Now they just hang out all the time. And I think that is a really cool thing. That's like a fan service thing, except it's like actually real. It's not just fan service. But that's cool. Then we see Naomi just having a live stream with Holden's family and just getting to know each other better. And that's kind of cool. And they're trying to speak Belter to accustom themselves more than Naomi. And I like that we're seeing them and it's like Holden's mom, another lady, another dude, another dude, another dude, another dude, another dude, and then I think there's another one behind the others. I'm not sure. But it's like, yeah, Holden had like 8 parents. I forgot about that. So this is like actually the entirety of Holden's family just being like, hey, you're your son's daughter. Hi. That's kind of cute. That's kind of funny. I like that. Then we have Clarissa speak to Amos. Okay. That's interesting. So, in my head, I don't really think about like every single like consequence. I thought about them for a little bit for Gunny previous episode, but I didn't think about them for Clarissa. And it's essentially Clarissa did kind of like murder a bunch of people. Clarissa did kind of blow up that fucking ship and cause a lot of problems, and a lot of people died as a result. So it is a thing of like, yeah, Clarissa's in jail now, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right. So, I'm gonna try the glasses again, just because I don't like not wearing them, but like, if I start having a headache, I'll just take them off. But, so, she's just in jail now, and she got life sentence apparently. And I like that she's talking to Amos, and like, we get to have some insight as to what happened, and how she feels about everything. And it seems like, and how Amos sees all that too. So, so Clarissa calls him and she's like, okay, thank you. And he's like, what? And it's like, apparently they like worked together a little bit, maybe on the ship when they were coming back. I don't exactly know for sure what happened between them, but she did specify that they spent some time together just working together or whatever. And Amos at one point sent her to go and like do some fixing of something, and she was like, okay, I went there, and I realized that at that moment I had like I completely had the chance to just kill myself if I wanted to. And she was like, did you do that on purpose? And Amos replied with, well, if I was given life sentence, I would like the choice to just kill myself if I wanted to, just to get that out. And she's like, thank you for giving me the choice to do that. It was kind of you to make the offer. But Anna was right. I don't deserve the easy way out. And Amos immediately goes like, shut up. Just like, stop with that shit. And it's like an annoyed. Just stop it. Just, it's not like a stop it of like, stop it. Don't talk about yourself like that. It's like, stop it. Like, come on. Shut up. I like that. He goes, you breathe in. You breathe out, eat shit, sleep, you take whatever they give you, and you get nothing in return. And just back to working. So, I like that Clarissa grew a conscience. We saw that at the end of the previous episode, and now she's like, she's in jail, and the reason why she's in jail for a lifetime is because she could have killed herself, but she was like, I don't deserve that. I deserve to actually just like take it. you know, to just be incarcerated for the rest of my life for all the mistakes I did. It's like I'm putting things right by doing this, right? Just having one nice act at the end of your life does not necessarily like, well, end of your life it wasn't, right? But having one act that like help everyone in some way doesn't necessarily mean that it instantly redeems everything you've ever done in your life. So she's like, okay, what I can do to make things, well, you can make things right, but the least you can do is to just like take the life sentence. Just like, this is what I deserve. I fucked up, and this is what I deserve. Let's do it. I'm just gonna go in jail. I'm just gonna stay here forever because this is what I deserve. And I like that Amos is like, fucking shut up. Just like, stop with the self pitying. It's just like, just take it. Just keep living. It's like, just, whatever. Just, it's fine. It is like a sad thing, though, the line that she said of like, they have me doing dream therapy. I don't really understand it, but the doctor has flowers in her office and I can smell them through the glass. Like, because it was like, has flowers in her office, and I was like, that's cool, and I can smell them through the glass, and I'm like, oh, that's that's sad. It's not, they're not even within reach of you. And she's like, can I bother you some other time? And then Amos goes, sure thing, Peaches. Then she's out. And then Amos like looks at the screen. I like that. I like that a lot. So Avasarala summon Holden. Okay, Avasarala is dealing with what do we do with the rings situation, because they're telling her essentially just like, okay, we shut down like a Belter ship that tried to get through the ring. And the only reason why there weren't rioters on the streets is because it was a Belter ship and nobody gives a shit about them. But we have a lot of like human, like Earthers that want to go through rings, and they just have a lot of ships just sitting there around it, just being like, hey, when can we go? Madame Avasarala, we want to go there, we want to explore. And she's like, no, we can't. And eventually what's going to happen is that one of them is just going to be like, we're going in. Just like, we're going in. And we're going to shoot them down. And a bunch of riots are going to happen. So the thing is that Christian is worried about what could happen if we just send people in through those portals willy-nilly. Which is like, I understand what the person here is saying. Like the other lady in the room just being like, we need, like, worlds unexplored, and there's like a lot of people that want to go through them, so just fuck it, just let them. But then Christian goes like, the thing is that we don't actually know what's gonna happen. Like, all this is unknown shit, and we would know that at least there would be like humans when Columbus just like discovered like the Americas. This is like, at least you would know there would be humans, right? But us here, we're completely blind, and the one problem, the one thing that we're just fucked in is the fact that like there's like a lot of shit we just don't understand. There's like a lot of shit we just don't know about, and it can be anywhere from there are aliens around and we have to be careful not to run into them, to something like there was a great darkness that devoured every other civilization out there, and any of this like 1400 systems are completely devoid of life because they got killed by this like great consuming darkness that killed the ancient civilization. So we should be careful about that before doing anything stupid, even though that's like the only thing we do. Right? So it does make sense, and like the thing is that like they know that, like they actually know that because Holden knows that, and Holden told everyone, because Holden is now Jesus. Holden is now the prophet. He can just be like, oh yeah, like the ring talks to me, and like I saw that shit, and they go like, oh my god, that's and like that's real, like that's actually real. So Holden just told everyone, okay, there was an ancient civilization, they all go wiped out by whatever. We don't know what it was. And all these places, they're all wiped out as well. So, yeah. And everyone's like, what killed them? And then they all go like, I don't know about that. So, now Christian is being careful because of that. Because of the fact that there's something out there that has just killed every other civilization in the universe. And we don't know what it was. We don't know anything. So that's the thing. The unknown is something difficult to deal with, apparently. So I like that conversation happened. Okay, so Christian and Holden meet up. I like Christian a lot. I like that we have her back as a character, at least in this episode. Because Christian, like, literally the first thing we see of her, she's on, like, a meeting, and she's, like, a proper meeting. She's, like, the president of the planet, and she's just on her phone being like, where the fuck is he? And she types in, like, all lowercase, and then toggles it to all uppercase. Just like, where the fuck is James Holden? I like that. And she also dropped, like, the best line I've heard in the show so far, probably. Which is the... Let me hear it again, because it was really good. Where was it? It was, like, right here, right? Holden, do not put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already. And then... Holden has this expression of like, shit. And Amos looks at him and goes like, it's good advice. Christian just never changed. Just never changed. Just keep delivering those amazing lines that you always deliver your entire life. Like, that's just amazing. I like that the canonical, like, president of the Earth is just this sailor mouth, just tired old woman. That is just like, fuck you. I love that. Just like this old hag. She's just fantastic. Okay, so what else do we talk about? So Gunny apparently. We can talk about Naomi's hair. Naomi's hair sucks. I mean, it could be worse, right? But the thing is that it's such a change to go from like the awesome, just like puffy pong to one side and the rest is like super short or like even like non-existent. Basically it's just this one thing to the side, and it was like cool as shit, and I really like that. And I remember in the first episode of this fucking show on season 1, I saw Naomi and I was like, she's the best. I was like, instantly I was like, she's the best. That's my favorite character right there, entirely because of that hair. Now it's gone. And now I'm disappointed, right? And there were a couple hairstyle changes with Gunny and with Drummer a little bit, and with Avasarala too. So like every single female character, I suppose. The Avasarala one I like. Well, I suppose that she can just have a change of hairstyle every once in a while. It's not like a different length, I don't think. It's just the same. Drummer looks pretty similar. Gunny has this weird like things to like here and then at the back. I don't remember the name of those things in English. I know them in Spanish. I don't know in English. I forgot. But braids. There you go. Braids. That's the word. But Naomi's the worst one of all of those. Like I can deal with most of them. Naomi's is the worst one, I think, because it went from such a high to such a low. I think. Like if it was like exactly the same thing, but it just had like one bang here, like here and only there, I would be like, that's cool. But it doesn't, so there you go. I'm a big fan of bangs in general, so I mean anyway, so okay, Gunny was apparently just like, okay, I want to go back to that scene and hear exactly what the dude said to Gunny when they were at the bar, because I wasn't paying full attention to it, I don't think. Because first of all, because it's difficult for me to pay attention to things. Second of all, because I had a killer headache and I wasn't paying that much attention to it. Can I buy you another beer? Okay. Got riffed about 6 months back. They told our whole unit, hey, thanks for the memories. You're all civilians now. Had a promotion coming up too. That's the shit under the stick. You should know. I watched your hearing on the feed. You could have saved your benefits if you signed that statement they were waving in front of you. I'm sure it was good entertainment, but you wouldn't. I stand by what it did. I can live... I didn't get to read that.
What I did.
Live with the fallen.
First, they order you to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Then they strip you of your pension, your skin, when you put honor.
And he doesn't bitch and whine when the chips are down.
Gunny, they essentially told her, okay, you have to lie for us. And then she was like, no, fuck that. And so they just kick her out of the army. And they strip her of her pension too. So Gunny is just kind of surviving. I'm not sure how, but she's surviving. I can, like, if I was Gunny, I would assume that, like, what you could do in order to get money without, like, if you're not allowed to, like, work, that's the one thing that you work. Like, one thing that you can do to get money would be to just, like, just keep getting, like, interviewed or whatever. Because, like, you were one of the people in the ring, right? In fact, you were a main character in the ring, so you have stories to tell. And, like, the reason why you got kicked out to begin with was because you didn't lie for whatever, right? So, I'm assuming that and you're already saying the truth. So, what could happen is that you get interviewed by people that want to know more, and you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I don't have anything more to lose. Like, I already, like, spilled the beans. I can keep spilling them, and that's the way you get money, I suppose. So there you go. That's what happened with Gunny. And then we also have that other character. I don't know his name. And I don't know if it's going to be relevant, but there you go. We got to see Ashford again. Ashford is still a character. I like that. I like Ashford. Ashford is a cool dude. So he's essentially playing police dog for the Inners. Because it's essentially just like, okay, there's a bunch of ships that want to get through rings, and it's like, okay, we're just staying around here, and we're just shooting down anything that just tries to go through it. So he destroys this ship, and there's one dude that survives, and we just take him in, and it's like, okay, so there are pirates destroying some of the ships that are just violating the treaty, the peace pact that we have with the Inners, and they're just destroying some civilian ships or like going through a ring or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, destroying civilian ships, because that's the thing. It's like that was the argument that the person made in with Christian when they were like, okay, so we have a lot of like Earthers just waiting there, wanting to go and explore new worlds because they're hopeful and they're unemployed, so they just want to go, and they're just sitting ducks there because we just tell them to wait, and they're just gonna get like raided by pirates, and like we can't help that. And then we see on the other side, Ashford is dealing with the pirates just firsthand, just being like, nope, just stay there, don't do that shit, right? I like Ashford because Ashford is lawful. Like, it's consistently been lawful, I believe. And the thing is that, like, at one moment he, like, doubts what he's doing. Is when that one dude just dies in front of him. And, like, it's funny because it's like Fred Johnson and Anderson Dawes are, like, the lapdogs of the Inners now, essentially. By the way, we haven't seen either of those in, like, a full season and a half. By the way, it's been a long time since we saw any of them. Maybe not a full season and a half, but like a season. It's been a long time. So yeah, like because Ashford and Drummer are working for them, and since Ashford is working on destroying everyone who's just violating the treaties, then it's like, okay, you are now Will Wallace. The general public belter perception of them is just like, you're just lapdogs of the Inners, which is okay. It's like, okay, sure. Public opinion, sometimes not great, sometimes whatever, because it's like, to a degree, yes, but at the same time, not necessarily. But they're not doing bad things here, right? Like, the people that want to just go and fuck shit up because they're pirates, like, those people are probably in the wrong side. But at the same time, there is some truth to what they're saying, which is a doubt that is getting on Ashford's head, which is a little bit of like, am I really just doing what I'm being told by the Inners here? Like, maybe there's a different way we can do this, right? Maybe he's doubting a little bit, because there was a moment when they were like, give us your access code or whatever, and they just didn't for a while, and eventually he was like, yeah, sure, give it to him, right? Like, he was clearly thinking about something, and the previous scene was the dude dying in front of him, calling him a traitor or whatever, so it was like, okay, so, and I like that there was a scene with him and Drummer at one moment here, when they essentially talk about how, I think Drummer told him something along the lines of like, you have to trust your gut. That's what she says to him. And then Ashford goes, well, the last time I did that, it didn't work out so well, did it? Because it was like, it didn't. Like, you were the main antagonist, previous book. Well, you were an antagonist. Well, you were an antagonist, yeah. You weren't a villain, but you were an antagonist. Like, those are two different things. Because a villain is someone that's doing an actually evil thing. Well, an antagonist is someone that opposes the protagonist. And the protagonist was Holden and Naomi and whatever. And so in the previous book, he was the antagonist at the end. But he thought he was doing the right thing. And then here he brings up the fact that, well, I wasn't. Like, I didn't make the right choices. And I like that Drummer's take on that. It's just like, we were all flying blind. Like, it's fine. And he was, well, more than you. And it's, well, only because my friend had a boyfriend with an imaginary friend that told us to bar the station down. and fucking Ashford here goes, and I thought he was a madman. But it turns out he's the prophet. And it's like, yeah, he's fucking Jesus. For some reason, James Holden turns out to be fucking Jesus. Man, and you can't blame them for that. You can't blame them for the fucking second coming of Jesus Christ, and for them to be like, yeah, whatever, you're just kidding Jesus. Like, you're not actually Jesus. You're just kidding him. And then all humanity is doomed to hell because nobody believed them. Like, that's it. But somehow they made it happen. But I like that. That was a little bit funny, I think. Okay, so then we have this ship of scientists. I was with the Hygeia group when we found some belters squatting on a rock with 1 billion in platinum ore that we had the charter for. How did that go? We gave them a percentage of the day, 300,000. Top of the 2 water tanks, sent them on their way. You got off cheap. Yeah, the company called it a win. Let's go be studies here. We got a legal charter from the UN and Mars, so you think the OPA gave a shit about that? No, I don't. Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out what this guy is. Right? Owen. Or Chief Murder or whatever. So, is he... I thought he was like a military dude. Is he not? Is he like a businessman? I don't think he is. I think he is kind of like a military man, right? But he's like enforcing things to be the way they should be, or something like that. They're coming with the science team. So maybe they are the people that are meant to protect the science team. Clearly didn't do so well, because instantly someone got... What are those? Are those the things that we saw earlier? I'll name a new bug after you. Instantly. Pluck! Are those the things that we saw at the end of the episode? The little flying things? I'm trying to get a good view of them while this scene is happening. It's like a bunch of little things flying across, so it's probably those. Yeah, okay, so it's probably like the tiny bugs things. And then the heavy damage is actually like the ship breaking apart, right? The heavy damage is probably just the ship breaking apart and just falling apart, and then the heavy damage happened because of it. But the bugs damaged the ship, and then the ship just fell to pieces. Okay, so it's probably just the tiny bug things. I thought that maybe it was like giant things that were just coming through and just like putting big holes across the ship, but no, it's tiny things, and then the ship fell apart. Okay. Those are some really sturdy bugs, by the way. Those are really sturdy. If those are the same things, it's lucky that they didn't... That seemingly nobody at the end of the episode got like super fucked up by them. They got like damaged, but it was like they got slashed here and there. But a couple dudes in the science team, they got just fucking straight up, just like impaled through their fucking bodies. Like they got shot by like bullets and shit. Except they're bigger bullets and apparently more sturdy because they came through the ship and cleanly passed through the entire thing, just through every material. So they're unbelievably sturdy. But one of them like died. Maybe got shot and that's why it died, because there were people shooting at them near the end of the episode, and Holden grabbed one of them. And I'm not sure if it's dead or not. I'm not sure if it's alive or not. Like, let's begin with that. I'm not sure what it is, because it looks like a weird mix of like a construct, but it has like hair on it, so it might be like a living creature. Could be both, could be neither. We don't know. This is a strange alien planet we're in. Bam, segue. We're on an alien planet here. We're on Illus, the place where the original builders came in, and they've just been staying there. The science team, or what remains of it, as well as Owen, are there as well. And then we have the Rosie getting there. And I like, they made it like all epic and shit, and then there's Naomi just like getting accustomed to gravity, which is something I appreciate seeing. And then eventually they get there. There's some kind of conflict between every single group here at the small like campsite, and then they get attacked by these things. But like, I like being on an alien planet. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the only alien planet we're gonna see, at least for now. But I just love the concept of just going to alien planets. I just think it's cool. I think it's about time. Like I feel like Expanse has just been space drama. But whenever you introduce space, right? Just give me alien planets, man. Just make it fun. Why would you not make it fun? It's fun to just see alien planets and just weird places you've never seen before. Why would you have space as a setting and not explore that aspect of it? Space is boring. It's just like blank at a bunch of stars and there you go. And there's just ships and everything happens inside of ships, and it's like, it's not great. So now we're finally have like a cool alien planet setting, and I like it. I do like the way it looks. Definitely shot somewhere in Europe or someplace like that's a place. It does look similar enough to Earth because it probably was shot on Earth, and also because they want to drill the fact that this is a habitable planet. This is why people settle there. It's similar enough to Earth, so you can just live there now if you want. So you can shot it on Earth, I suppose. If anyone knows where they shot every scene here on Illus, whatever the pronunciation of it is, let me know. I want to know where that was shot. My guess would be somewhere in Europe, like Northern Europe, or like, I don't know, fucking Greece. I don't know. That I know that it's not Northern Europe, but like anywhere in Eastern Europe, I suppose could be. That's how I feel about it. But I don't know. Is Greece in Eastern Europe? I mean, I know where it is, but I do not know if that is considered Eastern Europe. I don't think it is. Or is it? I suppose depending on who you ask, it's like right at the border. Now, okay, so Eastern Europe is probably up until like Albania, Bulgaria. So like right next to, well, there's another map here that considers Greece to be Eastern. So whatever. Any of those like places, I buy it, right? I feel like it's one of those places, but it could be whatever. I'm getting sidetracked a lot here. I'm sorry, but yeah, let me know where that was shot. Yeah, if every episode is gonna be longer this season, then sure. How many episodes do we have in this season, by the way? Because this is the first episode we have that is like, the show was taken by, okay, 10 episodes. Okay, so it's a shorter season. Cool. But yeah, this is the first season we have that was saved by Amazon, because The Expanse was essentially, I don't know if it was canceled or just whatever, by Sci-Fi, which was the original network that had it for the first 3 seasons, which is kind of why they rushed through the entirety of the third book and the back half of the third season, apparently, which I actually do like that we just rushed through it. I do like quick pacing. That's the word. Because JoJo reference again, but like the first season of JoJo is 26 episodes long, and it's actually the first like 2 books of JoJo, the first 2 major arcs of JoJo in 26 episodes, which is unbelievably rushed. But the only reason why they did that is because they didn't know if they were gonna get renovated for another season, so they just said, fuck it, we're just throwing all this shit right here real quick, real fast, and pray that we get renovated for the next one, for the 3rd season. And it worked. And it actually did work. And that was the best. And a lot of people would agree that the fast pacing is what actually made it work for those first parts for JoJo. And I feel like I can kind of say the same about Abaddon's Gate here. I do like that Abaddon's Gate was so fast because I feel, and this is just personal preference, okay? This is just personal preference. But for me at least, I feel like I'm one of those people that I'm like, just give me that shit. Just give it to me. Just like, don't get too sidetracked. Don't dilly-dally too much. Just tell me exactly what I need to know and just move on. Just real quick. And I can like even put together the things that you don't go into. You don't have to go into too much into them. Just like I can put it together. Just keep going. And if I can't put it together, usually it's not a thing that matters too much. So fuck it. Just move over it. Like the whole thing with like Clarissa and her development and her eventually turn at the end of Abaddon's Gate. I'm just like, we went from Clarissa's the worst piece of shit human being in existence to like, oh, Clarissa, thank you, you're awesome, in like 2 episodes. That's fine. That's fine, because like I know what I didn't get to see. Right? I can like imagine exactly what went through her head, and maybe some interactions that didn't happen, but I can imagine, like, it's like they only show me like the key points of her development, but that was enough for me to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, I buy it, you know? I'm not gonna question it too much, but I feel like that is also personal preference. I just want them to show me the key moments of things, not the whole thing, but it ended up working out a lot for me personally. Abaddon's Gate is probably my favorite of the 3 books in terms of the show, because I haven't read any of them, but I do like it, and a big part of why I like it is because it just happens in one specific location. It's really quick, it's really fast, it's only 6 episodes, and a lot of crazy alien shit happens in it, and we just move on from the political drama. We might be getting back into political drama, by the way, but that's fine. We can go between one and the other. The thing is that now we have an alien planet here, and that makes things so much more interesting, by the way. That makes things so much fun for me. Like, as long as we're on an alien planet and we're just gonna see crazy, weird shit happening, I'm like, yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. This has potential to be like the best one then, right? Because I just want to see cool shit that I haven't seen before. I like that. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling so far about this episode. The title of the episode is New Terra, by the way, and that's the way they name... I'm not sure what New Terra is, right? Is it the universe? Is it like the system past that one ring that they took? Or what is it? Because the planet is called Illus, right? Or is it called New Terra? I'm not sure. Because New Terra essentially means New Earth, right? I think Terra is just Earth. So, yeah. And I think that's just a cool name. New Terra is a cool name. But yeah. God, we've been going for like 46 minutes. We're good. We're just done with this discussion then. All right, thank you for watching this episode of The Expanse Reaction. It was a good one, and thank you if you were in full length, especially. Hope you had a good one. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this reaction episode to The Expanse. If you would like to see the next one, it should already be up on Patreon, as well as full length. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.